The lights went out. The whole neighborhood's dark. So here's what happened. My bedroom faces the front of the house, and looking out the window you see the front of the house and down the street. 3 houses down there was a car sitting there, and it's been there for the last 2 or 3 nights, and I think it's a female inside, but I'm not sure. And it's sitting in front of this big burly black guy's house. He has 3 cars. One of them is a jumping car, which means it has hydraulics and the car can go up and down. So I call him the man with the jumping car. So this car in the street is sitting in front of that guy's house. And they're sitting there, and I'm thinking, who is it? Do they live here? Do they know the guy? Are they waiting for him? What's going on? I certainly hope it's nothing drug related. I mean, it's possible that people are selling drugs on this street. I wouldn't put it past a couple different houses. But as long as they're not trying to manufacture something. A couple of years ago, 2 houses over the other direction, they were manufacturing stuff, or trying to. And I told the landlord about it, and I think that was stopped, because they could have blown up that house and the houses around would be affected. So that concerns me. So I'm wondering what's going on. Well, the guy with the jumping car comes home, and he's in the back with a little tiny flashlight in the back of her car. You open up the door and there's no lights go on. So usually people that are up to something disable the light so that it doesn't go on when you open the door. So I'm thinking, oh, what now? Then I hear sirens. 2 or 3 sirens. And I'm thinking, I wonder if someone called the police on them. And then I think, well, it wasn't me. And then I think, well, if they are up to no good, maybe the sirens will deter them and they'll wrap up wherever they're doing and go away. So I thought, well, I'm just going to take a shower. So I get in the shower and I get all soaped up and have a nice shower, and I'm rinsing off, and then the electricity goes off. And I'm thinking, what the heck? So I get out and I dry off, put the towel around my head and everything, and light some candles, and I have some flashlights. And I get on this little pay-as-you-go phone, because the house phone and the DSL weren't working. They don't work without electricity. So I called the electric company and was online for a while. This happened at 9:30. And I finally got a hold of somebody. Gosh, it took about, I don't know how long it took. 10 minutes or waiting on hold. And I finally got a hold of somebody. And he said, oh yes, we've got a lot of calls. He said there's over 716 people that are without electricity in your neighborhood. And I was concerned about my mom, who lives 2 streets over, because she's on an oxygen machine. So I said, okay, well, as long as you know about it. And I said, would you happen to know what cost it? And he said, yeah, someone was speeding down Shackleford, which is kind of a main drag, a couple blocks over. Someone was speeding down that and ran into a big electric, either pole, knocked the pole over, or electric box or something, and just wiped out a lot of electricity for the neighborhood, because everything was off. Street lamps, nobody had any lights anywhere. So I said, okay, thanks. He said, we'll get to it as soon as we can. So I went outside and I sat on the front porch for a while. I tried calling my brother to see if they had electricity. No one answered anything, so I was worried about that. And I went out into the driveway and I looked up at the sky. It was a nice, cool evening. The skies were really crystal clear. And that person was still down the street, but I didn't care, because I was going to look at the stars. You could see all kinds of constellations and stuff when it was that dark. It was so nice. I saw a meteor, I saw a falling star, and I was looking at the quadrant, which There are certain quadrants of the sky that you can look at that have higher traffic of possible meteors and stuff like that. So I was looking up there, and within 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 7 cars, people that live on this street, 7 cars at various intervals would come down the street with their bright lights on because they were coming home. 2 at the end of the street, 3 in the middle of the street. That's 5, and 2 other ones. One guy came all the way down and kind of like slowly sat there at the end of the street, and I'm thinking, who are they and what the hell are they wanting? What are they doing? They're probably looking at me, but I was looking at them too. Like, man, oh. And I got so mad. Every time it got nice and dark and I could see all the stars, somebody would come down the street with their bright lights on and then they'd blind me. And the last guy had boom, boom, boom music, and I just lost it. I turned my head that direction and I said, "Turn that off!" I thought, this might be a good night to die. They come up to me to want to kill me for yelling at them. But they shouldn't do that. That's at night. The electricity finally went on at 10:30. And I came in and I'm still not asleep yet. But Cat's been sleeping all day, snoring like crazy. But tomorrow's Saturday and I don't know. I may go to Speak Italian Club. I may not. There's a 30th anniversary for a community radio station. I may not go to that either. It's downtown, so who knows. It's supposed to be really, really warm tomorrow, rain Sunday, and then cool off. I still have to think about my car, and Mom's got a doctor appointment next week, so that kind of throws a monkey wrench into when I can work on it, and so still working on it. Thinking of starting to do some of the stuff I need to do around here, get it done. Yeah, well, that's it for this evening, and I've talked over 7 minutes, really? Ew! It's terrible. I just must shorten those conversations. Well, probably won't hear from me for a couple days then, because I've talked enough now. Alright, upward and onward.